Hey guys, I'm Miss Chelsea and welcome to one of my first craft classes. We are going to be working with fuse beads. These are used for many projects I have, so I wanted to give you the basics. I have two different brands of fuse beads. The first is Perler beads. They are symmetrical and have pastel colors. They're more round. Looking at melty beads, they work just as well, but they have a less circular look. The shape is a bit thinner, and they have a different color selection. A question that comes up is, what are fuse beads? Fuse beads are food-grade plastic that melt under heat and cool quickly. Patterns and designs can be made from them. I'm going to show you what we use. This is a pegboard. They are there for your beads to rest on. If you have this style of board, you can connect to others to create a big project. I usually give students only one because these projects can take multiple class periods to finish, so let's disassemble these. These tweezers are Perler tweezers and the ones I tend to have on hand, but they aren't necessary. You can use your fingers or regular household tweezers. So when you are going to make your Perler, it is good to have a pattern in mind. I use a graph paper for personal projects. It's a good way to express creativity and give yourself an idea of what it is you're creating. The pegboards in essence are grids, so looking at them it only makes sense. I'm going to make a creative example project with my glow-in-the-dark beads. I usually would have something already graphed out, but I'm going to improvise and show you. Alright, let me just fast forward because this is a bit time-consuming. Okay, so let's say this is all I wanted to do. I'm now ready to iron. I will grab my parchment paper. It has to be parchment paper and not wax paper because wax paper will ruin your project and your iron because the wax, when heated, sticks. Typically when you iron, it's good to hold down your parchment paper because it holds down the beads. When they touch the heat from the iron, they lift up and not all of them feel the heat at the same time. So by holding it down, they stay together. It's also important to not iron your hands. Irons are very hot and they can cause scars. Typically, students that are in the lower grades, such as 5th, 4th, or 3rd, that are doing anything with Perler beads, I recommend having a parent help you. A good indicator of whether or not you are finished is when you can see the holes in the beads through the paper. When I flip it, you can see these are stuck together. You should be able to tell which side has been ironed because one side has the center of each bead more closed off, and the other looks like it hasn't been touched yet. I'm going to take the side that has not been ironed yet and fold the parchment paper, which is reusable, with it face up and iron this side. This makes it more sturdy. Let it cool a bit before touching it, but for the most part, this is your Perler. You can make it into a keychain, give them as gifts, or even sell them. I tend to use key rings and lanyard hooks to turn them into keychains. How hard you ironed your Perler can determine what kind of ring you can use. Oftentimes the lanyard hook is too big, and when this happens the key ring will have to do the job. But in this case, I'm going to use jump rings. Now I can show you it with the lanyard hook. You can make many things out of Perlers, so I'm glad I could show you how to make them. Today we learned the basics of Perler beads. We learned what they are, how they can be used, different types of beads to use, and the general function of ironing and what kind of rings can be used. Perler beads can be fun gifts, keychains, or even sellable items. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you guys again soon. Bye.